I'm not
Just
talking
because you
about.
look like Puerto
I'm
Rican.
not saying, bro. I'm not talking about having problems. Listen, you could look at how they go to Afro Beats, Afro Nation, Afro Future. Go to all of that shit, right? They group together. That's the honest to God truth. It's not that they necessarily gonna have a problem with somebody else being there because listen, they capitalists like everybody else, but they fuck with each other.
Yep.
They
That's
dance with
every
each
group
other. They
though.
stay in their own groups. They are not inclusive like that, bro. They are not trying to. They not on that. They not on you on some like, hey, we fuck with you on that type of stuff. They stay separate, bro. I got there is some Nigerians that own a restaurant inside of the building that I got my studio in. I know every single person as we kicked it, we interacted with as far as the different units. We got architects in the building, we got conservation companies inside of the building and all of that shit. The Nigerians, I see the motherfuckers every day. They don't speak. They don't kick it. They don't speak. They don't want to talk. They not trying to interact. They not trying to fuck with you. They not own that shit, bro. They separate
That might be
themselves.
the culture. That might be the culture
No,
there.
bro. I'm
But
telling you, man.
The Africans that I met, I didn't have no problems with.
We're
And
talking
I
about
actually
anecdotal.
can I finish
You don't hear
talking?
what
Can I
they're
please
saying
finish
behind
speaking?
your back.
Can I please finish speaking?
He said,
Please.
"Go ahead."
Thank you. The Africans that I met, it wasn't that we literally talked about this because I was like, man, I thought y'all didn't like black people. And it was like, this is a stigma. Like, I don't they were saying like I don't believe this is true. Like it's some people, they just not gonna like people. They just don't like people.
I'm
So
not
you can't
disagreeing that they don't dislike. They don't not dislike you. I'm not saying that they don't not like me. All right. I'm not saying that they're beefing with me. I'm saying that the core of what I'm saying is that Black Americans are more closely aligned with white Americans and how we see things, how we stand for America, the whole 9 yards. Because there's plenty of people, for example, that align with my business philosophy or they subscribe to the Millionaire Morning Show and they say, I fuck with Anton and I'm from this place or I'm from that place because he thinks like a businessman, so on and so forth, right? But what I'm saying is your everyday interactions, it doesn't mean that they don't like you, but they will prefer to stay within themselves and they're not extending themselves to invite you in the same way that a white person will interact with you and say, oh, what do you do? Can I come in and see what you got going on or whatever, so on and so forth. They don't do that. They stay to themselves, by themselves, and they shut the fuck up and they keep it moving.
That's plenty
It
of
don't mean that
cultures
they
though.
dislike me, but it just
That's
mean that
plenty of cultures. There's plenty of cultures like that. What I'm saying is I don't think you can look at everything under the same lens. I've dealt with Africans. They done brought me stuff back from Africa, all type of shit. I got relationships with Africans. I don't agree. I got relationships with Puerto Ricans. I got relationships with all type of people. I don't think all that shit is true. I just don't.
They're
I
not
think
gonna
it
be quick
depends on what.
Keep
to let
talking
y'all
about
marry their
anecdotal
daughters, though,
information.
Slim.
Right.
Like that's
All
the
right,
Right.
point.
Slimmy, go
You
and
can't
talk to
just
them, bro.
easily enter their family and
Like
marry
go and
them or
talk to
something.
some of the fathers and shit like that. Oh, I'm telling you, they don't fuck with American culture like that. They look
No.
most of them, and I understand that everybody is not a monolith. Why does Slimmy go off camera?
Maybe he had to pee.
Once you travel, you'll see it. I think once you
There
get
you
out
go.
your corner, wherever you at, you'll see it. They might fuck with you for a certain standpoint.
Facts.
Do they really rock with you? No, they think Americans, and being for the Caribbeans, they think Americans is beneath us. That's what it is. That's an old culture. Yeah, they might dap you up, bring you some foo, ha ha, he he. But behind doors, they're rocking with each other's.
Dogging you.
That's
With each other's. Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, they don't even rock with each other. They rock with each other separately.
Dominicans don't even rock with Haitians, and they're on the same island.
Exactly.
That part.
That's a
There's
fact.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I think that also what you're saying, Anton, is true. More so because of all of the groups, Black people and white people, in my opinion, are the least likely to have an established culture amongst people who look like them. I think all the other groups that you're talking about, they have an established culture.
Exactly.
And I get it. They might not want to mess with us, but I think it's less about I'm not messing with y'all and more about our culture is we are with our own. We know who we are. We know what we do. This is what this means to us. This is what we like. So they've been kind of like it's ingrained in them. Whereas we're kind of
Let me
walking
tell you
around a little
something.
lost. We're like,
I'll go one step further.
we're all united
I'm
around
gonna make it
Christmas.
real personal. I'm gonna make it really personal now. I had another thought before I was gonna say that. I'm trying to remember what I was gonna say. Damn, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, I know what I was gonna say before I make it really personal. Do you know what the biggest insult that another American-born black person will say to a person that don't agree with them? They don't say now, yo, you a sellout on or you love white people or nothing like that. That's weak. You know what they say? They say you a tether.
I don't even know what that means.
It's some new shit, right? It's some relatively new shit that if you don't agree with them, it doesn't matter if you're born here, don't matter how long you've been here, don't matter how many your grandparents, ancestors, whatever, so on and so forth. You can go all the way down and prove your whole lineage. They don't say anything regarding white people no more. They automatically say that that's the biggest thing that motherfuckers that's from the United States of America say to you. They say that means that you're not an American-born black person.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
the
but how
biggest
can you
insult that
even
motherfuckers try to say to you now.
how can you even say that you're proving lineage? I feel like after
Well, they don't know.
grandparents-
They say shit, but it doesn't matter. The point is that that's the biggest insult that black people throw towards other black people that may not necessarily agree with them now.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like the fact of the matter is, once we get to grandparents, most of us are mixed with something.
But the point is that they see that as a bigger insult than saying that you're a white apologist or some shit like that now.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, listen, let me tell you something. Damn, I don't even want to make it that personal.
Well, see, and that's
No,
also.
hold on. Let me say this.
Okay.
So I went over my homegirl. I'll just put it like that. My homegirl used to be talking. She is an American woman, and she used to be talking to this African guy or whatever, right? And I was real cool with her or whatever like that. And so, she invited us over for like a party or whatever. It was like a holiday, like a 4th of July or something like that. And he was from Liberia. And so his parents was there, right? And I finally got an opportunity to sit down and talk to him or whatever. And his wife was there. The dad's wife was there or whatever and all of that. And they was there. And they just straight up told me like, and you know me, I'm arrogant as fuck. So I talk big shit. And they was just straight up like kind of letting me know like, we think we better than y'all. Straight up. And was no holds bars. And I was just, me, I'm a big shit talker. And so I was like, bro, I said, listen, I'm better than you. I'm better than your son. And I'm pretty sure that I probably got the biggest stick in the house. I talk big shit. I can't tell you how the conversation went. But the point is that I was just like, bro, I don't really know where y'all got this shit from because y'all not even from here. But you think that you better and you really just ain't ran up on the right one. Which also incentivized me to do some other stuff. But that's irrelevant. My point is that they truly, if you talk to them, if you talk to their fathers and you talk to some of these people, they will tell you straight up how they feel. Listen, we better than y'all.
Yeah, no, that it's the thing about it is I think the problem is that most people in America, right, don't know their history. So being that I come from a Cuban father, a Polish and Native American mother, I know all of my lineage, right? The problem with most Americans, they don't know. So their culture is just this right here, right? Of whatever America is, whatever the fabric of America is.
And I
Then
put
you
that
have
on my daughter's life. That's on
Yeah.
everything. And
That's
I can make a phone call right now to his
you're not talking to me.
former wife. So
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What I mean?
So she's saying that we don't know our lineage. You're saying that we do or we don't.
I'm saying
What I'm saying is you can't say, because this matters, right? When when a certain group can't attach themselves to a place, right? That creates a issue, which is the reason why during slavery they didn't want you to speak your language and all these other things. But what I'm saying is, you have these other groups that come from other places and they bring their culture with them. And so when you think you're aligning, that they know where their mother is coming from, right? They know exactly what country, what place, what city, and so that culture has been instilled in them the entire way. I'm American born, but I know my Polish culture, I know my Cuban culture, I know my Native American culture. I literally went to school on a Native American scholarship. So what I'm saying is, when you know all of that stuff, right, you tend to align with your culture or cultures in my case, right? But when you don't, everybody's invited in. Everybody is like, that's
But
that's
the
that's
thing
a that's a
is,
problem.
and I want to kind of bring it back, and then we got to go to the next subject too. Um, and then anybody can get a final thoughts. I personally just believe that we more or less are closely aligned with, um, I don't know, man.
With white people?
Yes, I think our mindset, the way that we look at things, our cultural norms, it more or less aligns with white people, and I think that that's probably one of the biggest reasons why you see division and people saying, "Hey, why y'all not out here getting y'all heads cracked in, trying to fight the National Guard and the police officers during these illegal immigration, these illegal migrants?"
I mean, to be fair, I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong, that most of us, if we went back through our lineage, would hit white before we hit African. That's just what I think.
But
So
what does that mean?
Like, if you go back, let's say grandmother, great grandmother, okay, now we're at white. Who was the African? We got to go back 4 or 5 people before we get to African. That's what I'm saying. So
most of us are mutts anyway, to be honest with you.
that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, most
But
of
if
us are
that is the
mutts.
case, then why would you call yourself an African American or black?
I
Because if,
don't. I don't
no,
believe
no,
that.
no, listen to what I'm asking. If you deemed yourself that way, because what people call themselves is how they identify, right? So if you deemed yourself that way, then why do you call yourself black, or why do you align with being African American?
So here's the thing: we were given African American, right? Nobody else and nowhere else in the world is delineating themselves outside of like German. You're not like, oh, I'm African German, I'm African French. It's just us, and that's just a thing to keep black people from being exactly the same as white people. We're not African Americans. We are literally just Americans. Everywhere else in the world, they're just wherever it is that they're from. All of a sudden, we're African American to keep
Yeah.
us from being just American. That's weird.
Right, but you don't have to adopt that.
I
So
don't.
so so
I don't.
so when like when you hear when me and the rest of the panel are talking, the reason why I stress whatever, I am, is because I know, and that's what I identify with. So if that's what people are identifying with, then they need to say such, because otherwise then you are falling in line with whatever the white man told you and whatever the white man says. Because a lot of the times here in America, not outside, but here in America, I always hear, well, the white man, how's the white man literally is my daddy. So the white man obviously doesn't think that. But the white man
I
told you that's what he thinks. And then you're gonna say, yeah,
I've
that's what
even
I think too.
I've even seen like some African guys that are talking to women that are from here in the United States of America, try to take them back to their own countries. I've even started to see a lot of that lately. which is really interesting. That's really weird. So it's almost like they try to get the best of the women that's here, and sometimes they're trying to take them back to their own countries.
I never cosplay as black. You have never seen me. You have never seen me say such.
What are you
Not
talking
one
about?
person on this panel can say I ever said that. You can call me whatever you like, but not one person on this panel can say I ever said I'm the blackest person ever.
Amiga,
Yeah,
you
no.
gotta try to prove
And
that.
I
Who
agree with
does say that?
what you just said, Mika. In fact, that's one of the things that I know is my next thing to really figure out. Like, what am I calling myself? Even just now when I gave the example of like blacks versus, if it feels weird when I say black, but I don't even really know what else to say because that is how I've been conditioned. But it wasn't until my kids started asking me like, why are we black? Like, you're not even the color black. I'm not the
Right.
color black.
Right.
And so now what am I supposed to say? I'm like,
I
American.
just
well,
say
so
I'm
now I gotta
American.
American.
I'm
but that's
American.
American.
but so and you're correct. Meanwhile, I'm still walking around saying black, African American. So it's a conditioning that I have to
Mhm.
uncondition myself with.
Absolutely.
Which is why I admire people who truly do know who they are, what they are. They claim it. They like. I admire that, and I'm gonna get there.
But
I'm
then,
gonna
but
get there.
then, but then you see, and when somebody knows what they are and are proud of it, and they say it, you get other people trying to tell you what you are, and kind of like Anton said, they'll throw that little word out, tether, this and that. I've never attached myself to anything. I rock with whoever rocks with me, regardless of what race.
Yeah.
I'm in America, and
Yeah.
American culture is inundated with all types of European, African, whatever culture. So therefore, I can hang with anything.
Let me
But
That's the
let,
other
let-
term
that
let me
other
read
that
people
other thing
say.
is just stupid.
let me read
Cosplaying
some
as
of these
black. I
super
ain't know
chats.
that's Kamala. That's y'all girl.
Oh,
Let
and
me read
who I
let
am
me
in
read
terms of
some of the
where I'm
super
from. I
chats
know
so we
who
can
I am.
start being a little bit more messy. Give me a second.
Oh Lord Jesus.
This we're gonna go right up to
Come back, Slimmy.
Oh, he been gone, huh?
what is Slimmy doing? He might be
Looks
eating
like
some
his
cereal.
stomach is tore up.
Yeah, he might be eating some cereal or something. Taking some Pepto
That is-
Bismol.
I can't drink milk.
Oh, he's there. Oh,
So you can drink almond milk.
Oh, I'm good.
Slimmy, you so close-minded. You got to open up your mind to new things, new possibilities.
We
Try.
love Slim.